How's it going, guys? My name is Quest, and before I even talk about this video, I urge you to look at the last video to get caught up to speed because it plays into this video. They are connected. So yeah, just letting you know that the last video will be in the description, so I recommend you watch that first. And also, we left off last video with this spot right here blank because I thought there was a lot of characters that could fill that slot. And I said I either wanted like Reptile because he's my second favorite character, or Serena because she hasn't had the spotlight before on a main roster, much like Rain. So I said either Reptile or Serena. I put Reptile in here just because I love Reptile and I want him to be in the game. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about the DLC. I put 12 slots just to make it even all around. And I'm not going to include any guest characters in this video. We know we're going to get them. I don't want them, so I'm not going to include them. So we're going to talk about 12 Mortal Kombat characters that I think will be DLC for Mortal Kombat 11. So for Kombat Pack 1, let's just go over this one at a time. First up, let's talk about Mileena. I really don't think Mileena is going to be base roster in this game. But I do think she has a 99.9% to be DLC for this game. She's just so popular. Mileena not being in a Mortal Kombat game, it would be weird at this point. She's made herself a staple for the games. And she has an insane following. I think it's pretty safe to say she's the most popular female in Mortal Kombat. Next up, Jax. Now, this is more of a character that I didn't really care too much for to be in the game, but it makes sense. Jax is popular. He's been in a crap ton of Mortal Kombat games, and it just makes sense for him to be in the game. That's all it really comes down to. It just makes sense for him to be in the game. I think there'd be a couple more interesting characters to have over him, but I feel like NetherRealm will prioritize the characters that are like secondhand staples, like Jax, like Mileena, over more obscure characters like, I don't know. You get what I'm saying, though. They'll prioritize characters that have established themselves as fan favorites over characters that aren't necessarily fan favorites, but they have potential to become them, like Fujin, for example. I don't think he is a fan favorite, but everybody sees the potential for Fujin, and they really want him in the game because of that potential, if you know what I'm saying. But that's enough of that. Next up, Smoke. Smoke, I also think, has an insanely high chance to be in the game because people want Smoke. People like Smoke. Smoke is cool. I like Smoke. You want Smoke? We all want Smoke. Just put him in the game. That's simple. I think he's a really cool character. Alright. Then we have Nightwolf. Character that's pretty popular. Has a good following. I think he'll be in the game. Pretty safe bet that he will be. Either DLC, maybe base roster. Nightwolf, pretty obvious choice. He is currently a Revenant in the canon, like most characters, or most of the trilogy era characters. But yeah, Nightwolf I think is a safe choice. He's a cool character. I like him. He's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna put Nightwolf in the DLC. Next up we have Shiva. Now this is interesting. If you're like, the hell, why is Shiva here? Get her out of here. If you haven't seen my last video, go watch that, because in that video I explained why I think Shiva deserves a second chance and why I think she would have been a better choice over Devora. So I'm not going to re-explain all of that. I just think Shiva is a good choice because she is now Queen of the Shogun. I think she has new potential that she didn't have before, and that's really it. I think she could end up being a cool character. Plus we don't have a Shogun, and Goro doesn't have arms, and Kintaro's dead, so Shiva being the Queen of the Shogun, I think makes sense. Last but not least, we have the 3D era Cleric of Chaos, Havoc. Havoc is one of those characters that I was talking about where people want him because of the great potential he holds, much like Fujin. And in the MKX comic series, he really showed his potential. He was a menacing dude. He was a threat, and he really shined in the comics. I think it's about time that he gets a second chance to be in the games, because fans really loved him in the comics. He's one of the better 3D era characters, and I think Havoc would be really cool. And I think there's a lot you could do in terms of the gear system for Havoc. So yeah, that's why I chose Havoc. Alright, now to close off the video for Kombat Pack 2. Now remember, I'm not putting in any guest characters, just because I don't like guest characters and I prefer them not to be in the game, even though I know they will be. I'm just including more Mortal Kombat characters because that's what people love, Mortal Kombat. They don't come to Mortal Kombat to play with Leatherface. Now, don't get me wrong, Predator and Alien, those are some pretty damn cool guest characters. I really liked it. I really liked those too, but Leatherface was god awful. I hate that he was included. Jason, he's a 50-50 for me. I didn't dislike Jason, but Leatherface really bothered me that he made the roster for MKX. So yeah, no guest characters for my list. This is my list. Alright, so just to start this off, we have Serena. Now, like I said earlier, for this last slot, I said either Reptile or Serena. I ended up going with Reptile. So we're going to put Serena as DLC, 3D era character. Well, technically not, because she was in Sub-Zero mythologies, but the only games where you could play as her were 3D era games, Armageddon, and the Game Boy Advanced port for Deadly Alliance. It's so weird that they made her exclusive for that. But yeah, Serena, pretty solid pick. I think it's time she was brought back, given some shine. Well, she's never really had any shine because they've never really fleshed out the character that much. I mean, she had a cameo in MKX. That's gotta be worth something. Next up, Sector, Cyrax. Do I have to explain? It's Sector and it's Cyrax. Everybody loves these two dudes. And I mean, you could include Triborg, but NetherRealm doesn't repeat DLC, and Triborg would work so weird in this game, because with Triborg and how the variation system works and how you create your own variations in MK11, I don't think it would work with Triborg, because you could make some broken stuff like, I don't know, you could have Sector's teleport with Cyrax's nets and bombs. That doesn't sound very balanced. And plus, NetherRealm doesn't repeat DLC characters, so we're gonna split Triborg back apart and just Sector and Cyrax. They're great characters, and I really want them in the game, even if it's just one. I love them both. I'll take one if that's all we get. But I mean, I feel like you have to include two. They're like Sub-Zero and Scorpion. If you just include one, it doesn't feel right. They come as a pair. Next up, we have Chameleon with a K, the female Chameleon, not the male version. Chameleon, she's the only other character that has been confirmed to be the same race as Reptile. Now, the male Chameleon, it's heavily assumed he is also part of Reptile's race, but it wasn't. I don't believe it's confirmed. I believe only the female was confirmed to be part of the same race as Reptile. Chameleon, I think, is the only trilogy era character that has yet to make a return, and I believe she was exclusive to the Nintendo port of like Mortal Kombat Trilogy or Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I think it was Trilogy. I'm pretty sure she was exclusive to the Nintendo port. I forget which. I don't remember which Nintendo console it was. It was either like the Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo. I don't know. It was for the Nintendo, and she was a character, and she hasn't been brought back yet. I think she was also in the Nintendo port of Armageddon. I could be wrong. She might have been, though. I think she was. But yeah, she has yet to make a return. I think it would be pretty cool to see her back, so I included her on the list. And then we got Ermac. You have every other ninja in the game. Just slide in that last one. Give us the last ninja. Ermac's pretty cool. I think if you have every ninja in the game, besides Ermac, that would just be weird. So, you know, give us Ermac too. I have no complaints with Ermac. And then lastly, Sindel. Personally, I don't really care too much for Sindel. Now, hold up. Before you type in the comments, what you mean? Sindel, #1 character. Oh my god, I'm changing. I just realized I'm changing that. But before you guys type in the comments how much you love Sindel, that's personally fine. We all have our own opinions. I respect the character, and I respect your opinions of the character. She's just not one of my favorites. But like I said, I respect the character, and that's why I included her for DLC. I know how much people like her, so that's why Sindel is on the roster for DLC, that is. I just think it makes sense, and I think with a roster like this, every trilogy era character except for Goro, Kintaro, Motaro, and Striker. I think those are the only ones who from the trilogy era who don't make it in, which is fine because 3 of those are bosses and the other one's Striker. And I mean, if you're gonna give us a shooter character, you got Aaron Black, you got Striker, so you know I'm taking Aaron Black any day of the week. I mean, they could put 2 shooter characters, but that's kind of overkill, especially for a Mortal Kombat game. So I think Aaron Black is all we need. But yeah, this is the final roster. Let me recap one more time. Havoc, Nightwolf, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Smoke, Jax, Melina, Katana, Jade, Devora, Kotal Khan, Shiva, Aaron Black, Kano, Cabal, Jackie Briggs, Noob Saibot, Johnny Cage, Cassie Cage, Sonya Blade, Baraka, Rain, Kung Jin, Shang Tsung, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Frost, Takeda, Female Chameleon, Reptile, Scarlet, Raiden, Fujin, Serena, Sector, Cyrax, Garrus, Shao Kahn, Sindel, Ermac, and 2 new characters. This is my prediction. More of a want, but we'll just call it a prediction. But yeah, if this was the final roster for Mortal Kombat 11, I would give it an A+, to be honest. I would give this roster straight up A+. If this was the final roster, I would be insanely happy. Obviously it can't be the final roster because some of these picks just aren't going to be in because they got to have guest characters. So people like Chameleon, Serena, probably Jax, and Shiva, Havoc, they probably don't have the best chance because, like I said, guest characters, and that's why I don't really care for guest characters. I mean, if you just have one guest character, fine, I'll take it. You know what? Even if 2, I will take 2 guest characters, and I would still be happy. Like, if they gave us, I don't know, Spawn and Michael Myers, and that's it, that's fine. I'm cool with that. But you know we're going to probably get like 4 in total, and I'd just rather have characters that are actually part of the universe of the game we're playing instead of, you know, characters from just popular horror franchises or movies and whatnot. But yeah, this is my final prediction. One last thing I should add. Jax, like I said, just kind of made sense. But out of all the characters, I think Jax is probably my least favorite. Like, if instead of Jax we got like Lee May or Astra, I don't know, maybe some other 3D era characters, I would be cool with that too. Also, I realized Kenshi isn't on this roster, which kind of makes me sad because I really like Kenshi. He was one of my mains in MKX. I mean, he could be... You know what? Last minute cuts. Last minute decisions are being made. I'm taking Reptile off the base roster for Kenshi just because I want Kenshi, and he was DLC for MK9, so he cannot be DLC for MK11. NetherRealm has stated before they do not repeat DLC characters. So, Kenshi cannot be repeated. He can't be DLC. So I'm gonna take Reptile off, throw Kenshi in, replace Jax with Reptile for the final roster. Last minute decisions. I know it's crazy. It's my video though. I do whatever the fuck I want. So yeah, this is the final roster right here. Again, Jax was taken out, replaced with Reptile, and Kenshi was put in base roster. I think this is an A+ roster, but again, this is my opinion. There's a lot of fan favorites in here. There's every single ninja in here. You have the cyborg ninjas. You got a handful of 3D era characters with Havoc, Serena. Well, Serena's kind of iffy because she did debut in Sub-Zero Mythologies, but I count her as a 3D era character because she's only playable in 3D era games. So yeah, Havoc, Serena, Frost, Kenshi, those are really solid 3D era characters. Oh, and Fujin. How did I miss Fujin? Those 5 characters are really, really solid. You have the return of Chameleon. You have, like I said, a lot of fan favorites from the Trilogy era. You have a couple new characters with these two and Garrus. You have MKX characters with Aaron Black, Kodal, Devora, and the Kombat Kids. I think this roster has a lot to offer. Now, like I said, this isn't going to be the final roster. There's no way in hell. No way in hell. We're going to get guest characters. But hypothetically, if this was the roster and we had no guest characters, this would be my favorite roster of any Mortal Kombat game. A+, honestly. But that's going to be it for the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Other than that, guys, I'm Quest. I'll see you in the next video. Also, subscribe if you're new, if you're not subscribed. But yeah, I'm going to be making more Mortal Kombat videos, more discussion type videos. So yeah, subscribe if you're new. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace out.